These are the halls of the largest Venator ship ever made in the Men of War Assault Squad 2 Star Wars Galaxy at War mod. Throughout this labyrinth of halls is Commander Gree's 41st Elite Corps, and they must defend against a massive boarding party of B-1 battle droids led by Asajj Ventress. Can Commander Gree and his clone troopers hold out till the end, or will they lose security of the Venator? If you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I know I'm a day late, but may the 4th be with you. Real quick, huge thank you to Instant Gaming for sponsoring this video. They have literally the best deals in gaming. I use it all the time. If you like Star Wars games, Lego Star Wars for $2. Star Wars Battlefront 2 for $9. One of my favorite Star Wars games, Jedi Knight Jedi Academy, $1.70. If you want to play the Star Wars Galaxy at War mod, Men of War Assault Squad 2, $3. Extremely popular games can be up to 99% off. Link in the description below. Thank you to Instant Gaming for sponsoring the channel. Thank you guys for watching. Let's get into the video. Alright boys, let's go ahead and press start right here and watch as the B-1 Battle Droid Army begins their assault on the 41st Elite Corps. A little bit stuttery at the start here as there are thousands of droids on the battlefield and hundreds of defending clone troopers. The droids starting off with an absolute bang, taking out the early shipboarding defenses, but now the clone troopers off in the distance are going to hopefully be able to get some serious kills at basically the first death tunnel junction right here. Now there are some E-Web turrets out that way firing away, which those never stop firing unless they run out of ammo. Then they just reload for a quick second, but they cannot become suppressed in this. So those are a very valuable tool for the clone troopers to actually utilize on this battlefield. And the droids here are taking a few losses, but they're really flooding this chamber early on. I do apologize for the lag here. It's running at about 12 FPS right now. As more droids and clones die, it should become lag-free as we go. But there's so many entities on the battlefield that it is a little bit brutal right now. Asajj is pushing ahead of the droids here, leading the charge and distracting a little bit of the clone trooper fire, though other clones are being smart and just firing at the droids behind her, because those are the real lethal things right now. Asajj has to get up to them to actually get kills, and she's a hard kill to obtain herself, and the droids can just fire away with her distracting. So it's smart for the clones to split their fire between her and the droids in the back there. Now, let's go check out some of the other areas. So there's multiple flanks also being attacked over here. We got some commando droids on this side, whereas Asajj is sort of the elite unit in the middle. The commando droids on the sides are going to be the elite units supporting these droids in particular. And this is just a massive hallway stretch here. I mean, talk about death tunnel. Look at that. That's disgusting. Haha, that's going to be brutal. And again, there are some E-Web turrets here, but a little bit farther back there. Couple of shinies here are all the way up front having to defend. That's not going to go very well for them, I have a feeling. But then we've got some more 41st Elite Corps vets up this way, also reloading, and hopefully they'll start mag dumping on some of these droids over here. Now, the exact same thing is happening on the far left side over this way. We got more commandos coming in, we got more standard droids, and there is some security droids, which are the red droids on the battlefield as well. They're all charging over this way. Looks like an E-Web turret right over here ended up getting shot up and is donezo at the moment. We do have a small medbay area over here for the Venator. I'm curious to see how this works out. There's another E-Web turret over here, but it's facing this way right now. It can pivot 360 all the way around, so it can just adjust as it goes. We've also got a Z6 rotary cannon trooper right there, so this medbay is pretty well defended. Maybe not a ton of bodies in there, but at least what they've got is super powerful, so could knock out a lot of droids, potentially. Or they'll just falter and die really quickly. You never really know in these Clone Wars battles. Either way, this map was created by the one, the only Rollum, who makes some of my favorite Men of War Assault Squad 2 Star Wars Galaxy at War mod maps. I mean, this one is absolutely goated. It's actually a series of his, I believe, from what I read, that he is doing on multiple different Venator shipboarding battles, I think, or something along those lines, which is pretty cool. But if you want to check it out, it is on the Steam Workshop publicly. Rollum makes some absolutely incredible maps. Y'all be sure to go support him on the Steam Workshop. You know, review his stuff, rate it up, and yeah, get him some likes on there because he is a legend. Either way, Asajj Ventress is poking her way forward here. She's got a ton of droids behind her, so this is very problematic for the clone troopers for sure. The E-Web turret out front there is still firing away, but it's just one E-Web turret and a few clones that are all suppressed already, so I don't know if this middle defense is going to do super well. But then we'll have a very interesting choke point defense back this way with these clone troopers, although highly susceptible to getting flanked, as we see over here the medbay area already about to receive some of the first droids coming their way. This guy in particular starts firing away with his legendary DC-15A, and he gets killed almost instantly. Kind of sad, really. That was not very good. These clones over here could also do some damage. Lots and lots of choke points. Like I said earlier, it's just going to be a war of the choke points throughout this battle, and hopefully the clones can make the best of them. We'll see, though. They're not always the best at that, I will say. And these droids seem to be focusing on the center path over here rather than the medbay path over this way, although a little bit more fire over here. That clone does bite the dust. These droids are going to push through into the medbay, it seems like, pretty soon. One droid is in there. The E-Web is doing nothing. Bro, pivot and fire this way. I'm gonna see if I can adjust the settings and make this a little bit less laggy. Hold on. Okay, I tuned down the view distance quite a bit, and hopefully that ends up helping out a little bit in terms of the lag here. This E-Web turret is not pivoting. I know these can swing around. Maybe not. Oh, maybe that's the black model of the E-Web turret. The gray model might not be capable of that. I'm not totally sure. We do have... yeah, that guy's gonna get grenaded. This ended up not being the best defense that I was hoping for. Z6 rotary cannon is firing away, trying to get some kills here, but I don't think that this is going to go super well for the clones to come. This is pretty rough right here. How's the main drag doing on the left flank? Okay, these clones, again, still pretty suppressed, but they've got a long ways to go, so it's not too bad. Are there other choke points in the middle still holding? It's very laggy, so it's kind of hard to move around. Actually, this clone sergeant right here is still alive, though he is about to die due to a little thermal detonator action right there. How about the far right side? They have another little med bay over this way. Seems like this one actually held out a little bit better. They at least got a few kills. And these guys are continuing to push down this hallway over this way. These clones are dead over here. I'm curious to see what ends up happening over this way. By the way, I did intend to upload a May the 4th video yesterday on May the 4th, but I ended up screwing up the editing on it, and I just didn't like the video and the way it turned out. And so I decided to scrap it and upload another video that I was going to upload today, which was my zombie video on the aircraft carrier. And it seems like people really enjoyed that video, which is great, but I do apologize for no official May the 4th video, but it's Revenge of the 5th, so we're doing it today, I suppose. I do apologize about that. Usually it's a channel tradition, but it just did not pull through this time around, sadly, very, very sadly. Alright, why don't we go ahead and do a little overhead time-lapse here and watch the droids come through these hallways here, and Asajj Ventress over there, because it is pretty laggy, and I think if we just give it a little bit of time, more droids and clones will die, and it'll get less laggy. But it'll just be a minute of time-lapsing. Okay, it's only been about a minute here, and the droids made pretty quick work of this little hallway. Asajj Ventress over here as well. There's one clone trooper left alive over here. He is going to pop up, try and get some shots out, but yeah, he dies pretty quick. These clones over here are still holding. They haven't really had much of an attack, but there are droids about to wrap around here right now. Why'd you go for the grenade? Why? Oh, that was the worst thing you could have possibly done. These clones back here, though, getting some kills, which is good. The droids do have cover around this corner, though, so that does not bode well for the clone troopers over here to defend super easily. This could end in kind of disaster for most of these guys, and with the droids really pushing through right now, it definitely definitely is going to be tougher. They're getting a lot of headshots though, so that's nice. This clone going for the grenade, I'm okay with that, but when a droid is about to charge around the side there, yeah, don't go for the grenade right away, my boy. That's just stupid. These droids pushing pretty far down this way. Again, this is like a 1.5 mile long frickin' map, so this is absolutely gigantic here. Clones defending, you know, it's a war of attrition over this way. Getting a kill or two on the droids is perfectly fine. You don't need to be like mass slaughtering, but in these little crooks, you definitely want to be. Alright, droids are actually coming out of there. They're also phasing through the freaking walls, bro. It's okay, they dealt with the phasing guy pretty easily, but then the flanking guys over there are distracting those troopers, so these guys aren't helping out over here, and those guys end up dying, so that's not great. Yeah, there's a lot of distracting going on currently due to all the different avenues the droids can take. Let's see the far right flank over this way. Asajj is now on the far right. We still got tons of clone troopers down here, though, ready and able to fire away. And the middle section now has a very long stretch as well. The next time we're going to get nice choke point kind of details is going to be back this way where this E-Web turret is. Hopefully they can really do something there. But until then, we're just hoping for a few droid kills every so often to make sure that the droids don't really just plow through. Zero problems. You know, we need them to be taking some losses at the very least here, even if they're minimal. Just a few kills per hallway defense is perfectly fine. The back line is going to be in these choke points where we start seeing serious kills, hopefully. Let's go ahead and time-lapse again, and hopefully more droids die and we have less lag as well. Okay, took about 5 minutes for the droids to somewhat get down this hallway. They did take some losses, which is good to see here. The back lines over here starting to die at this little command console. There's still more of the hallway around this way, but it does bend around, so that's going to be hopefully a good choke point right here. Then there's the barracks over to the right side and a small little command post type beat over here. Now these guys, I'm hoping, can make a pretty nice little stand and get some serious kills. They're already starting to get some nice ones, and the droids are fixating on them as opposed to the guys out in the hallway, which is perfect. So if this continues, we could be golden. There are some commandos coming around the bend, though, pretty soon, and that could be nasty. But yes, more kills on the B1s. Beautiful. How's Asajj doing on the left side? All right, they're going actually a little bit slower over here compared to the middle now. But they're taking less losses. They've almost taken no losses over there, so that's kind of crazy. On the far right side, oh, mass casualties for the droids over here, and they seem to be slowing down. This middle junction is going to be an interesting point. These droids over here, again, seem to be doing the best right now, I would say, overall. And they'll be able to flank around the sides as they kind of come through. And that's going to be the big problematic thing for the rest of the clone troopers around here. Grenade going out over that way. The clone already died, though, so rip the dream. More droids shooting up these guys. They're probably dead pretty soon. These guys here maybe could get a few more kills, though, which would be grand. But the guys in the middle also kind of dead. Let's watch these droids come through. Okay, droids did push through this way, and now inside of this little intersection here, we're seeing a lot of crossfire from clones over this way and over here, which is great. Problem is, Asajj Ventress is over here as well, and she is causing some havoc this direction, which is just resulting in these guys getting distracted, so we're not getting the maximum crossfire we could, but these guys are doing some good damage to her. She has a lot of health, she has the reflectability with her sabers, so she's gonna be a tough kill to get, for sure, dude. Plus, these droids over here pummeling the the clones on the other side, and they'll breach through this corner as well fairly soon and support Asajj Ventress there, which will add even more fuel to the fire, cause even more problems. The clones straight ahead over this way are having a little bit of trouble too. They're not doing super hot, so not fantastical. And clones on the far right side still doing quite nicely though. These guys are doing great. They're not having really any problems at all in slowing down and killing a ton of these droids. There's barely any droids even left over here, so props to them. That might be the first of the 3 prongs to die out fully, maybe. We'll see. But then the middle section also, you know, still fairly strong. I think the most droids are left alive over here. And the far right, I think, is doing the best overall on the battlefield right now. Okay, the droids are kind of breaking through this way a little bit, meaning just a few are making it over here, and a couple are popping out over here semi-successfully, but these clones are still holding it down this way against these droids and Asajj Ventress over here, and then they pivot and fire this way when need be, and these guys are holding it down over here. It's not a ton of clones, but they're somehow managing to actually kind of hold out right around this area. Now, the lag has subsided substantially, so why don't we go into normal speed, see how that goes. It's still pretty laggy. Let's go into 2 speed. I think that's where we're at right now in the battle. So a little bit faster, but not horribly. Not the best, but it is what it is. This clone's gotta have a number of kills at this point. Let's actually go ahead and check that out. 15 for a dude with just a DC-15C. That's crazy. This guy's got 3. This guy's got 16. That's crazy. This fella's got 9. This trooper's got 6. This trooper's got 6. This trooper's got none. 1 and 5. So these guys holding it down in the middle section really, really nicely. They are doing a bang-up job right now, and hopefully they continue to do so. Uh-oh, this droid pulling through. Shoot him. Oh, might not be able to like that. There we go. Nice. Another beautiful kill for that boy right there. And these droids are kind of pushing out a little bit more, getting some more fire on some of these clones. Actually, a double kill all of a sudden. 2 clones. Oh, all 3 clones going down. Yeah, we're watching the breach finally come through here. A couple more droids dying over here, though. I think once, you know, those droids really start pushing through this way, they'll just slide on through, kill these clones over here, and then continue on their way. So this won't be the final holdout point for the clone troopers. They likely will fall, but they did a very nice job of defending up until this point, and hopefully they can continue to get some serious kills onward. Now it's time for the droids to finish off this very long hallway over here and start working towards Commander Gree's back lines, the very final defenses over there. It's gonna still take some time for the droids to push through these ways, but once they do, it could be pretty close to the end of the battle here. How many droids are left? There's still a decent number over here, maybe like 60 or 70 droids in total around this way. This side, probably another like 50 or 60. And then this side over here is abysmal. Maybe like 15. So I think it's up to the middle or the far right side to get the W in this battle overall. It's not looking super hot for the droids. But then again, the clones are kind of at the end of their defenses for a lot of these positions. Let's watch this far left flank over here. This position goes down, and now Asajj Ventress is leading the charge and killing clone troopers in the final assault here of the back hangar bay area. And we've also got droids pushing through this little tunnel too. We've got 2 E-webs set up right here, so hopefully they can do a nice holdout over here. The far right side over this way, still in the same position they were at, but these droids, it looks like they got support from the middle section and now are pushing through over here as well. But these clones are just very, very good at what they do, aren't they? And they are just continuing to hold out. Look at this guy right here, just waiting in the wings, popping droids as they round the corner over this way and getting tons of kills with support from his boys behind. That is extremely impressive stuff. Whoa, I just zipped all the way around there. I just wanted to see. He's got 28 kills. That's nuts, bro. Dude is clapping cheeks single-handedly right now. While we go into full speed ahead here as there are now many dead droids on the battlefield. The far left side over here is very exposed for the clones. This E-Web goes down. The clones do get a lot of droid kills right here, but Asajj Ventress still being out and about on the battlefield is rough. I kind of thought she would have died earlier on due to some grenades or something like that, but no, she is still kicking. Again, I've said this a million times, but grenades tend to be the best way to deal with Sith and Jedi in this game. 1 or 2 grenades in a row will just kill them outright, but blaster shots can take a way longer time to actually take them down. It just takes forever with blasters, so it's far better to use explosives of some sort. These clones over here, though, also locking it down. They're in kind of cheeky positions behind these barrels, so they might be able to do something right there. Middle section, these E-Webs ended up dying. There's still a few clones left alive, though, trying to hold out, and some guys backing them up over that way as well. Again, the far right side's still alive, but that clone trooper did end up dying. It looks like he got a lot more kills before he fully went down, and he's still got some friends behind that will continue on in his legacy, in his honor, and hopefully get more kills. This guy's got 6, this guy's got 7, this E-Web's got 6, this guy's got 5, this guy's got 3. This trooper's got none, and this trooper's got 3. Very impressive numbers from these guys overall. This guy's got 1, this guy's got 1. This trooper has none, this trooper has none, none. This troop has none, this guy's got 1, this guy's got 3. Okay, this guy's got 3, and this guy's got 11. God dang, okay, that guy's popping off in here. Look at that little cheeky angle he's got inside of a Republic cargo crate. That's kind of nuts. Is Asajj dead? Yes, okay. Asajj appears to finally be dead. They just kind of glitch when they die like that, so it's a bit peculiar, but that is a huge relief, I am sure, for the clone troopers right there. Having her gone from the battlefield is absolutely tremendous. However, she did do a ton of supporting throughout this entire battle and might have made the difference for the droids overall. If the clones can't hold out now, I think it was because Asajj just carried through almost the entirety of the battle and got a crazy amount of kills for the droid army and did a crazy amount of distracting for them as well. More droids dying as they come through here. Commander Gree is back here on his lonesome using his pistol because that is a glitch. We'll go ahead and drop his pistol so that he is forced to utilize his DC-15C. Forced to utilize as if it's not the best option, and we'll readjust him there. There we go. I don't know why that glitch happens in the Galaxy at War mod. Ever since the last update, which was a few years ago now, that's been an ever-present problem. These guys still holding over here. I mean, there's a lot of droids that can still come through, but the fact that these guys are still alive is a huge sign for the clone troopers. Maybe they can still do this and get the big old W. And this is holding, and that's holding. So why don't we go ahead and watch this defense over here so we can see the droids coming in over this way and if they come through over that way too. But right now the clones might do this, baby! Okay, so the clones are just doing a full-scale holdout. They've destroyed so many of these droids over here. There's still some droids over this way, and there are still some droids over here too, but it looks like an absolute certified clone trooper W at this point. I think that they are going to be, yeah, taking home the cake at this point. Where should we watch? Maybe Maybe watch Gree for the end here, because, yeah, it is just about Jover, baby. Well, boys, I think that just about does it. There are few droids over here. Oh, and they're stuck in the wall. There's 3 droids stuck in a wall over here, and 1 droid still stuck in space over this way. But beyond that, they have all perished, with the clones taking a W. This guy's got 18 kills. This guy's got 16. This E-Web has 36. This guy's got 7. This guy's got 6. This guy's got 6, this guy's got 4, this guy's got none, and this guy's got 3. Gree has 4, this trooper has 19, this trooper has 24, this trooper has 3, 11, 20, 24, 26, 1, and 5, 2, 3, none, and 4. That is crazy. These clones absolutely clutched it up at the very end of the battle. Red are dead droids, yellow are dead clones. This is the largest shipboarding battle we have ever done in the Clone Wars. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to Rollum for making the map, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.